First off, you know the difference between a cook and a mechanic? A mechanic washes his hands before he goes to the bathroom. Whenever I wash my hands, I immediately have to go to the bathroom. Today we've been playing around with the Supercharged GG.
Yes, it's a bit more than just a Supercharged GG though, isn't it?
It is a little bit more than Supercharged GG. Everybody, this is my good friend Doug Macmillan, one of the two partners at Hondata.
Howdy, Brian.
How are you? Glad you can make it out here. We've been playing with cars as we tend to do. Doug, by the way, was the tuner and provider of the engine that was in my land speed car that I unceremoniously took out of the car.
Yes.
By rolling it at 180 miles an hour.
A rapid unscheduled disassembly.
This car got one of the very first J-Swap kits from you guys. And by J-Swap kit, I mean ECU, Flashpro, and adapter harness. The engine harness you want to use with this would be like a 0708 TL harness. That has all the proper, because this ECU is based on the 07 TL automatic?
Yes.
Automatic
and manual.
And manual ECU. So you would use the 0708 TL engine harness. Those are actually fairly plentiful. They sold a ton of TLs. That is what we have in here. And then the adapter harness he has the remaining ECU plugs.
Yes. Plus
it has hookups for power and also the data link connector and a few relays so all the powers get turned on. And it made it super simple to put in this. And you have a bunch of base maps.
Yes.
We loaded in a base map, changed our map sensor, and it fired right up.
And although this is drive-by-wire, the vehicle was originally a drive-by-cable. Has that been an issue, or is it fairly straightforward?
No, that's really easy to solve as well. So two of the other parts that we need actually hook up to the stock engine harness. One of them is what's called the accelerator pedal position sensor.
Yes.
And we basically were able to use the stock Civic throttle cable to operate that.
Yep.
And then the other thing we had to add was the module that actually electronic throttle control module.
Yes, exactly.
And that was added in as well, and there was a connector for that on, I'm sorry, there's a short sub harness that connects to the engine harness to work that.
Straightforward.
Oh yeah, very straightforward.
Way to go because we've run into some things that we need to update. What do we need to update?
Well, we need to update the injectors. Yes. We have the stock 310cc J35 injectors. They ran out of juice pretty early on.
Yeah.
We still have the problem with the belt slippage. Only made about 5 pounds of boost this time. So
at top, yes.
Yeah, and once before when I had it tightened with another setup, we made up to 8 pounds of boost. So that's going to be something that needs to be solved.
Once you've got bigger injectors and once you've fixed the belt slippage problem, to see how much power we can make.
Oh yeah.
How much power do you think our audience is thinking that this is going to make?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice. I would put your guesses down in the comments down below, and let's see if anybody can guess exactly how much horsepower it makes. We are going to be making these improvements. We are going to get back out to the dyno, and we want to see what that peak horsepower is.
I'm excited to see what this can do, and I'm sure that all of our viewers are excited to see what it can do as well.
Yeah, exactly. First time out to the drag strip, ran 1167, wasn't able to get into 5th gear actually, because I forgot to wire up the lockout. So I coasted about 300 yards in neutral before I finally put it back in 4th gear to do the last 100 feet. Yeah, this car should be sub 11. It should be a 10-second quarter-mile range. So yeah, that's gonna be super fun.
Sounds great.
Obviously, an engine this big is going to have traction issues in a small car like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Hondata traction control, would that work with this system?
Yes, we've configured the software for this so that you can hook it up to Hondata traction control. But on earlier model Civics, you're going to need to connect an ABS sensors.
Right. So, for instance, on this particular car, the Integris came with ABS, so it'd be easy to just put that suspension on here and have that kind of stuff. If I recall correctly, the Honda traction control didn't need specifically Honda sensors, it just needed sensors.
Correct. All it has to do is get a speed sensor into our traction control unit, and that can be with a Hall effect sensor, which is the more modern sensor, or the earlier sensors, which are just an inductive pulse.
Okay.
The computer was originally designed for naturally aspirated, but we have extended it up to 4 bar of air pressure for both fueling and for ignition.
Nice. You also have launch control on this, so we can fix the RPM with 0 speed or trying to fine tune our launch on something like this.
Exactly. You can use a launch control to set the RPM that you leave the line for your drag racing.
Very good. Because it's a Flashpro, it has Bluetooth.
Yes. Well, that's going to be very useful in the earlier cars because you want a more elaborate dashboard so that you can buy a cheap Android tablet or use your iPhone, put up on the dash, and you can have all of your gauges displayed in your vehicle.
Nice. Very good.
Very flexible.
Yeah, very flexible. There's actually quite a few Android type dashes available now that, you know, are kind of basically a flat panel Android running Android that you would be able to configure in order to use that as a dash.
Well, we haven't tested it, but if it's Android and it's Bluetooth and can run our Hondata app, then more than likely you've got a car that's making a lot of horsepower and will make a lot more once we upsize the injectors and have a supercharger whose belt does not slip. So I think we're going to make a lot. Just don't forget, we'd like you to put in the comments below here how much power you think this is going to make.
Very good. Anyway, guys, if you want to know more information about the J-Swap kit that Hondata makes, head on over to Hondata.com. That information is there on their website. We're going to be releasing more videos on this as we upgrade it further and further. Cool.
Exciting. Thank you very much for inviting me along and having some fun doing some tuning, and we will very soon see how this goes.
Yes, we will. Appreciate you coming out for this. Thank you.
Thank you.
So after Doug tuned it and decided we had not enough injector, we did that plus fixed a few things. We actually fixed our tensioner on our belt so it's rigid now. The spring tensioner no longer works, and everything is tensioned now by this upper pulley and 660 injectors. 4-bar map sensor. We actually found the map sensor, the RDX one we're using, wasn't quite accurate, so that might have been due to age or some other factor. But we are now set up, hopefully, to see what it'll actually do. We're hoping for more boost this time, and then again to rev cleanly. Last time we were only really able to tune on the low load, not even on the high load. So now we've got it's set up so we can use VTEC all the way, and we can rev it up and hopefully make boost the whole time. So I'm hoping for 400s. Let's see what we get. Look at that, guys. We made 400 horsepower. That was my goal today. I'm super stoked. We seem to be hitting a boost max of about 8.5 pounds, and then it starts trailing off. I know there's more capability with that supercharger, so I'm going to try and figure out the problem. Could it be a restricted throttle body? Do we need a smaller pulley? Not really sure, but we're going to address those problems and see if we can't get about 500 horsepower out of this combination. I think that would be amazing. Well, now that we're done with that, it's time to pack up and head to California for Honda Cars and Coffee. Let's see what everybody else thinks about this car.
Civic Household drag racer, powered by a highly modified supercharged 3.2 litre V6 Acura Dyno engine, producing over